Hello, and welcome to Fast Fact. You've probably all heard of horseshoes, and if you haven't, it's basically like a common sense thing. You've got to know it. Or at least most of you do, or should. Horseshoes was thought to be traced back in 708 BCE by the Olympic Games. There was discus throwing, which was kind of related to it. Then there were the Romans, who were another trace. People are confused as whether they used horseshoes to throw over these hobs that were pounded in soft clay, or it was the other way around, and they would make the horseshoes into rings, or it was the other way around where they would make the rings, which were quoits, metal discs that had holes in them that were used as weapons or thought to be, that would be fashioned into horseshoes. Eventually, by the 16th century, not 16th century, the 14th century, English rulers banned the game from their, kingdom, I guess. And from there, nobody could play it because they figured that for soldiers and archers, particularly, it interfered with their training. I don't know, they must have not been really smart, because if you're an archer and you're doing something like that, where you have to throw a heavy metal object as far as you can and try to stick it onto a hob, it's gotta improve accuracy, which every archer needs. Also strength. By the 16th century, peasants in England started playing it again, and they eventually exported it into North America. That was when people started playing it a lot more often, and it became an official game. And by the 19th century, or 18th century, late 18th century, people started hosting competitions. There were the men's competitions and the females competitions, or the women's competitions. The women's competitions came out about 20 years or so after men's. The competitions were changed, though. Men had their hobs farther apart than the women did. So basically the distance was shorter for women and longer for men. And people would play these competitions to try to become the best horseshoe player. Many of them won good titles. Many of them won okay titles. Some of them didn't do very well. But at least they tried, and they tried their best, and they at least got known for something. That's all I really have to say on the Fast Fact. Thank you, and goodbye.